Okay, so it's not the sportiest car out there, but it is the world's most popular hybrid. Toyota gave the Prius a major update for 2016, bringing a fresh new design, an all-new interior, updated technology, and a revised powertrain. One of the most important aspects to the new Prius is the introduction of Toyota's new generation architecture underneath. So this is going to be used for a number of new Toyota models in the near future. Basically, Toyota says that it's more rigid, providing better body control than before, and also a lower center of gravity, improving handling. What we're interested in is Toyota says this is more fun to drive than ever before, with better response and higher engagement. We thought we'd take it for a quick drive to see what all the fuss is about, and to see if we can find any ounce of sportiness in the new model. In terms of the exterior, it's a very slippery looking car. It's almost got a continuous line that goes from the bonnet all the way over the roof and then straight through to the tailgate. It's very aerodynamic, which means that it can cut through the air with less resistance, providing better performance but also better efficiency. I think Toyota has done the right thing by giving it a sort of futuristic look. It needs to separate itself from the rest of the models in the range, and it certainly does that. It stands out in a car park, for instance, or it stands out against any of the mainstream petrol rivals, that's for sure. I'm not a fan of these squinted sort of headlights and the sort of, looks like it's had a vacuum cleaner stuck on the front there, and it's all pointy at the front end, but that's, yeah, purely for aerodynamics. But yeah, as I said, it definitely stands out on the road. Around at the back you've got the sort of twin windscreen, so that's actually a window through there. It is a bit obtrusive with that bar running across the rear view mirror when you're driving, but you do get used to it. Under the bonnet is a revised 1.8 litre naturally aspirated 4-cylinder petrol engine, paired with a electric motor system. Toyota says the electric motor element is more compact than before and provides a more direct power delivery to the front wheels, which should improve driving response. The petrol engine produces 72 kilowatts, and then combined it's 90 kilowatts. That's about 10 kilowatts fewer than the previous model, but with the improved response it should provide similar acceleration. Let's start it up and have a listen. And that's it, that's started. But no, it's a hybrid vehicle, so the petrol engine doesn't actually start until it's required. You can rev it, but it doesn't actually rev freely. Like the exterior, the interior is very interesting. The best way to describe it is that it's impressive in that it will provoke some sort of emotion, whether you like it or not. It's going to provoke some sort of emotion. For instance, the instrument cluster is up in the middle there. At first you think that's a bit annoying, but you do get used to it. Your eyes straight away gaze to the left there. But having it over there does provide a more airy feel, so you don't have all these instruments in front of you. It's a bit more, it feels more spacious. I like the center fascia here. It sort of protrudes out from the dash. The touchscreen is borrowed from many other Toyota and Lexus vehicles. It's pretty good. It's got little menus around the outside, and they're sort of integrated into the screen to make the touchscreen actually look or appear bigger than it is. That's hooked up to a JBL 10-speaker stereo for this model, which is the iTech, which is the flagship model, and also the base model. I'm not a huge fan of this white trimming down here. It's sort of stolen from the first generation Holden Volt, or the Chevrolet Volt if you're watching abroad. It just seems a bit tacky. It's almost like a baby bath or something like that. Toyota has painted it in metallic pearl white, but yeah, when you're looking at it from a distance it just looks like white, and it's, I don't know, for me it's just a bit tacky. I like these little toggle switches for the climate control. They're pretty cool, I think. And the attention to detail is pretty good. You've got this little swooping section that goes into the passenger side. You also got Prius written on the vent controls there. In terms of space, it's got equal to or a bit more than the average sort of Corolla Mazda 3. But yeah, with that instrument cluster gone, and just the sort of low center console here, it does have a sort of airy feel to it. Plenty of headroom as well. We'll have a quick look at the rear seats. So yeah, it's pretty roomy back here. The ceiling it does slope down at the back, and they have put these little cutaways in the ceiling to try and give you a bit more space. But if you're a bit tall, your head probably would start to touch the ceiling. But legroom is definitely very good for this segment. Even in the middle, it's pretty good. But yeah, you could use this as a family car, no problem. And in the very back, you've got this large hatch section. This is the iTech model, as I said, which doesn't come with a space saver spare. Instead, it's got this puncher repair kit, but that does give you a bit more space here. Anyway, let's take it for a drive and see if we can find any sportiness to it. So you've got a few different driving modes to choose from. You've got EV mode, which is more for just car parks and things like that, where we'll use the electric motors and not switch the petrol motor on at all. But as soon as you pick up any sort of speed, the petrol motor will come in and that'll turn off automatically. Then you've got normal, power and eco mode. In power mode, the petrol engine pretty much stays alive the whole time, and throttle response is sharpened up a bit. The aspect we're most interested in is the new generation architecture underneath. Since Toyota is going to be using this for all of its future, or most of its future models, this car is a bit of an indication of what we can expect. And on first impressions, it's impressive. It's engaging too, and I'm not just saying that. Toyota's not paying me or anything like that. It is actually engaging. You get that good feeling through your body that the car's on the same page as you. Like, you can throw it into a corner, and it will just stay stable and track true. It doesn't have awesome acceleration, as you might have expected, but the handling is actually, it's better than the acceleration, put it that way. The car could handle more power, in other words. But yeah, I'm surprised by the steering. It's actually pretty engaging. You get a bit of a feel of what the front wheels are doing, and you can pinpoint it right where you want it. The tyres obviously let it down a little bit. It's not a performance car by any measure. The suspension is also set up for you know, sportiness, but nothing truly sporty. So initial bump is pretty taut, but then when you start hitting some bigger bumps, it starts to get a little bit bouncy. But you can tell that the chassis underneath is quite good. It'll be interesting to see how they use it or utilize it in sporty models of the Corolla and even the Camry. But yeah, I would say that this is more exciting or more interesting to drive than the equivalent Corolla or Mazda 3. As I said, it's not the quickest car in the world, but you could actually go for a nice drive in this and get some sort of enjoyment out of it. So on first impressions, it's more fun to drive. Toyota is not lying when it says that. The steering is nice, the handling is pretty good, and with that low center of gravity, especially in the Prius with the batteries and the electric motors all mounted low down, it actually handles quite nicely. We'll be putting together a more in-depth review on the website soon with the performance video, and we'll go over a few more of the finer details. Until then, thanks for watching.